What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's YouTube video. It's me, a full day of eating on the rebuild. So I've been doing a rebuild series. If you haven't seen those are more workout based, maybe a little bit of conversations about like my approach to the rebuild, the exercise I'm doing, the actual workout split, progress photos, my mindset behind it, all that kind of good stuff. But today's me what I'm eating on the rebuild. So just a little pre-workout snack since I'm working out in the mornings right now. We're gonna grab a protein bar as well as some kiwis. Nothing too crazy. I noticed for myself, if I have too big of a meal, like normally I have like eggs and toast for breakfast, I now do that after my workout because if I eat that before, I'm just so full, I can't really get a good workout in. So we're keeping it simple. We're gonna have one of these transparent labs. These are the grass-fed protein bars. I'll admit these used to be garbage. Like, sorry, transparent labs, but these used to be horrible, and they rebranded, or not rebranded, they rebuilt them or changed up their formula or whatever it is, and these taste so much better because I used to get these all the time, and I'm like, oh, I don't even want these. And now I like literally have 2 boxes here. I get 2 boxes shipped every single month because I love these. So we're gonna have this is a chocolate peanut butter version. Pretty clean macros as well, one of the reasons I eat that. So we got that guy. Then we're also gonna have 2 kiwis for a little bit of carbs and some micronutrients. So it's got these kiwis right here. I do eat these over the sink and I eat them with a skin on. I know it's kind of weird, but it's one of the things where I just basically like wash it, kind of clean it. There is like a seed at the top. So in here, like right under here is a very, very like it's hard. I assume it's the seed. Well, they have little black seeds. I don't know what that is, but it's something that I basically kind of like just peel off and then eat the whole thing. I know it's kind of weird, but it doesn't really bother me. But if it bothers you, completely understand. Just eat around the skin. So we're gonna have those 2 things. This is gonna be, I think, 280 calories, 15 grams of protein. I did track it, so let me just go ahead and read you guys the macros for the whole meal, including the kiwis. I think it's about 400 calories, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, yeah, so it looks like it's gonna be 367 calories, about 44 grams of carbs, 17 grams of fat, and 17 grams of protein. So mostly carbs, a little bit of protein, a little bit of fat, but just enough to kind of help me get my energy up for my workout. I'll come back and have the big meal afterwards. So let's head to the gym. I'm not gonna film the workouts since I've been filming a lot of workouts recently for the rebuild series. Today's just be food-based, so you see you guys at the post-workout meal. Almost forgot I was doing a full day of eating. Came home, started to make the post-workout meal, but we've got some eggs. So I'll show you guys. Trader Joe's pasture-raised large brown eggs is the go-to when we go to Trader Joe's. So you got 5 of these bad boys in here, giving those a quick scramble, as well as some salt and pepper, so pretty basic seasonings. We have our pan, I can't even think of that, pan over medium heat. So what we'll go ahead and do in order to measure the butter, what we can do is actually throw it on the food scale. You guys would have seen this before if you watched the How to Track Calories. Zero it out, take the butter off, give it a little. It's good enough. Put it back on. You can see how much you used. For me, it's almost right around 4 or 5 grams. Bread, same thing. Place your plate on there, zero the scale, throw it down. There's 2 slices in there, 123 grams. So now we know. Throw that in the toaster, and then we can go ahead and put our eggs down. So I'm gonna go ahead, finish cooking this. I will add some jelly to the toast, as well as probably a sumo orange. So I'll read the full macros and everything for you guys once it's all cooked up and once I measure out the jelly, because that's gonna be the same process, measuring that out, making sure I keep track. You know, that's not too much calories. Peanut butter is the big thing that you need to keep track of in terms of like how many grams you use. But jelly-wise, we're gonna use this organic reduced sugar strawberry preserve from Trader Joe's. This is a go-to, easy enough, just from Trader Joe's. And we'll be adding that onto the jelly and have a sumo orange. So I'll read the macros and calories once I have everything put together. And here is our final product. We have our sumo orange. These are the best thing in the world. I used to think that because they kind of looked weird, they had like this nub on the top, that they weren't good. These things are elite, but they're only in season from like maybe January to March or something weird like that. So while you have them, you gotta get them. I got a bunch over here. You can see an entire bowl. I have one pretty much every single day. They're delicious. We also have our toast. Now I did measure out the jelly on there. It's 51 grams of the jelly. We have our eggs cooked up. So that is breakfast, or I guess kind of call it meal number 2. One of the big things I try to stress, there we go, with all my clients and when I run into that trying to work on their health and fitness is I say a complete meal only, or it needs to contain a protein source and a fruit or vegetable. If you don't have a protein source, you don't have a fruit or vegetable, it's not a complete meal. So make sure when you do cater or create meals, things like that, make sure there's a main protein source. In this case, it's the eggs, even though like eggs aren't the highest in protein, but with 5 of them, I'm getting about 30 grams. Then also have some sort of fruit for me, or fruit or vegetable. I kind of call it my micronutrients within my meals. And this meal comes out to be, let's see, 759 calories, 86 grams of carbs, 29 grams of fat, and then 40 grams of protein. Biggest thing there, this is a much bigger meal than my breakfast. Normally, I would like to have something pre-workout that has a lot more food and carbs, but I know if I want to train early, get that done, it fits my schedule best, I can't have upwards of 800 calories pre-workout, so I'll have it post-workout and then go through the rest of my day. So that is meal number 2. I'll see you guys at the protein shake, aka meal number 3, because there's still a protein source and also a fruit. So see you then. It is now time for our third meal of the day. We're going with a protein shake. I just made it, but I'll go over all the ingredients for you guys. It is a chocolate peanut butter banana protein shake. We're going starting off with a frozen banana. That's an absolute staple. So what we do is basically just take a Ziploc bag like this, peel our bananas, throw those in there, and we also have some ripe ones in case we do ever eat them ripe as well. But as long as I have that stocked up with frozen bananas, they last forever. So if I ever have a shortage, I can just go over to our fresh banana stores, peel those, throw those in the freezer, because it has to be a frozen banana. If it's not a frozen banana, the consistency's off, the texture's off, it's gotta be frozen. Highly, highly recommend. They're going in with a cup of almond milk. So I've got this just, I don't know, is this even unsweetened? Just unsweetened, non-dairy original, so not vanilla flavor. This is from Trader Joe's. Almond milk, this is 30 calories a cup, so we got 1 cup in there, and also a little bit of peanut butter. We're going with, once again, everything's from Trader Joe's. It's not specific, so just get peanut butter wherever you go. But this is the creamy peanut butter from Trader Joe's. Oop, there we go. And in order to measure this out, what I do is just throw this on the food scale with the lid off, use a spoon, scoop it out. We're doing 20 grams of peanut butter. So not quite a full serving or a full tablespoon, or because I think it's, see, 2 tablespoons is 32 grams. So a little bit over 1 tablespoon goes in this shake. And then of course we got our protein. We're going with the Transparent Labs. We've got the dark chocolate. No, this is actually milk chocolate, right? Yeah, milk chocolate is one of the big tubs, 2 scoops of protein in there. And as far as another thing I take at the same time, that's all the ingredients. It's 4 things blended up, goes in the smoothie. That's what we got here. But I also take my creatine because I have this smoothie every day, whether I train, don't train, travel. Well, if I travel, maybe it's not the full kind of like frozen bananas, everything else, I'll still bring my protein powder with me. I have 2 scoops of protein every day to help me hit my protein goal. I'll take my creatine with it and not blended into the smoothie, but just at the same time. And the biggest thing there is to remember to take this. So I was talking with a client the other day and he mentioned how he was struggling to be consistent with his creatine. He would take it for like 3 or 4 days, forget it, not take it, and just not take it for like two weeks or more. And his biggest struggle was like, when do you take it? I was like, well, it doesn't matter when you take your creatine. Like that does not matter at all. First thing when you wake up, last thing before the day, the biggest thing is to get saturated with creatine and continue to take it on a daily basis. The actual timing does not matter. But in order to build a new habit, like taking 5 grams of creatine every day, one option is to make like a checklist. So if you have a kind of a daily to-do list, to add it to that, or add it to something you already do, right? So a best way to create a new habit is to attach it to a current one. So if you're struggling with your flexibility or want to do mobility, I basically attach it to my daily shower. So before I jump in the shower, my goal is to do 5 minutes of mobility training before I go and shower. If, in terms of creatine, I have my protein shake every day, just as part of something I want to eat, so I attach it to that meal. So I basically told him, I was like, hey, like you don't work out every day because you don't need to work out every day. We try to get 10,000 steps a day, but sometimes that's outside, sometimes on the treadmill. Let's attach it to a daily meal. So every day when you eat breakfast or every day when you eat lunch, have your creatine in those or attached to that meal. Kind of make it like a part of that meal. So attaching a habit you want to create to a habit you already do is a lot easier than trying to create its own, a single habit on its own. Hopefully that makes sense. And also, let me read the macros for you guys. Obviously, the protein shake, it is 494 calories, 36 grams of carbs, 13 grams of fat, and 63 grams of protein. That puts my day total already at 120 grams of protein. Plus, I haven't even had dinner yet, which is my biggest meal of the day. I think I'm gonna do a steak tonight. So protein's on track, everything's looking good. And I can sip on this and do a little more check-ins and get some work done. So that is meal number 3. Not meal number 2, meal number 3, because we have a protein source and a vegetable and a fruit in there. I'll see you guys at the final meal of the day. Time for the 4th and final meal of the day. We got a lot going on in the kitchen right now. Katie's doing some meal prep for tomorrow and Thursday. I am cooking up a ribeye steak. We've got, let's see, ribeye steak, Trader Joe's. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it should say 0.69 pounds. So that's what I'm gonna use as far as tracking calories.
Can you open that?
Yeah. Wait, here, put it down.
I know, I just don't want to ruin my nails.
Gosh, why is that on so hard?
I know.
Sorry, we are getting the lid off the salt, but we're making a ribeye. So I've got a 0.69 pound ribeye right here, drying that off, getting that ready. We're gonna be using a nice little carbon steel pan. Katie's got her meal prep going. We also found a nice little butter I'm gonna be using. So this is a butter with Parmesan, garlic, and herb from Trader Joe's. So I'm just throwing a little bit of this on top of the steak once it's done. Because I did try to actually baste with this, and that's a big no-no. It burns very, very badly. I don't think it's meant to be like a basting butter. It's supposed to be just like go on top of it. We're also gonna have some Brussels sprouts, which Katie's putting together right now. Salt, pepper, chili powder?
Yeah, you're gonna be okay.
I don't handle spice very well.
Chili flakes.
Chili flakes. We do a little bit of Brussels sprouts, so we've got, and I'm also gonna do a bunch of blueberries. So I have 210 grams of blueberries measured out right here. Those just need to be washed, and they'll have that. So steak, Brussels sprouts, and blueberries. That's gonna be dinner for me. I'm gonna make everything just because we got a crowded kitchen. Don't wanna like, I don't know, burn myself or miscook the steak. So we're gonna go ahead, cook everything up. I'll show you guys the final product as well as the macros for this meal and the total day. Steak is done, but the Brussels sprouts are gonna be in about another 12 minutes, and I'm just too impatient. I'm not gonna wait for those. I will eat them. Trust me, I did put in 150 grams of Brussels sprouts plus about a tablespoon, or plus about, did I put a tablespoon? Actually, I need to double check that. I was gonna say, I used some olive oil. I think I did put a tablespoon. Okay, it looks like I actually estimated about 10 grams of olive oil, so that's kind of just across the Brussels sprouts as those are roasting. I did end up washing the blueberries, so we got those right there. And then we have our steak cooked as well. Hopefully a nice medium rare with 14 grams of that garlic herb butter. That was one serving and about 80 calories worth of butter on there. So the meal for this, the macros for this meal, steak, blueberries, Brussels sprouts, see what that comes to be. Looks like, oh yeah, I would say the ribeye steak in and of itself was 745 calories, so keep that in mind. But the entire meal was 1,072 calories, 44 grams of carbs, 75 grams of fat, and then 65 grams of protein. And let's see, okay, so that is, yeah, vast majority of that is the ribeye steak. The ribeye steak specifically on its own was 745 calories, 58 grams of fat, and 58 grams of protein, and everything else added in, the butter, the olive oil, Brussels sprouts, and blueberries. That brings our day total to 2,692 calories, 210, there we go, 210 grams of carbs, 133 grams of fat, and then 184 grams of protein. Pretty much right on point with where I wanna be. Calories right now, pretty much between like 25 to 2,800 calories, somewhere in that range, depending on how hungry I am. I will say if I don't have a steak, I usually have something like chicken thighs, chicken, ground beef, that's a little bit lower in calories and a little bit lower in fat. So this day was a little bit higher in fat, a little bit higher calories as a whole. And then that's gonna be, yeah, that's the day as a wrap. But I keep the same 3 meals for breakfast, lunch, well, first meal, the protein bar, the pre-workout snack, and a piece of fruit, exact same. 2 kiwis, protein bar. Post-workout meal, exact same. 2 pieces of toast, eggs, jelly, orange, and the protein shake. Those are the 3 staples. I have those every single day, have for a while now, and I'll change up dinner depending if we go out to eat, if I wanna have a steak, I wanna make some ground beef, chicken, things like that. My dinner will change, but before dinner, I already have like 120 grams of protein. I would say the bare minimum protein ever is like 160, 170. Typically it's much more than that. Like today it was 184. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at in terms of making progress towards our rebuild series. So that's a full day of eating. Calories will probably stay around here for a while. I don't need to accelerate my rate of weight gain. It might touch 3,000 by like March, depending on how much I want to gain before I start the cut in mid-March after we officially move, so because we will be leaving this apartment. And basically funny enough, I started my cut last time at the exact same time. As soon as we moved from our basically moved in here, I started my fat loss phase, and now when we move out of here into our next place, I'll also start the next fat loss phase for this coming summer. So that is a wrap on today's video. I will eat the steak. Actually, Kitty, can you hold this real quick? So I can see, oh, you can turn that around. I just need to see if I can cut the steak and see if I did a good job or not. All right, so let's go ahead and give it a cut. All that butter is nice and melted. This butter is so stinking good too. Ever go to Trader Joe's? Let's see what we got. Hopefully, nice little medium rare. Let's see. Well, that's not too bad.
So.
Yeah, the sear wasn't great. I feel like I can't figure out like the exact sear I want. Like get like a nice, like kind of crunchy, crispy sear on it. But yeah, it's not too bad. It's cooked pretty well. And also the butter makes everything taste good, plus the ribeye in of itself. But without further ado, that is wrapping the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. See you guys next time. Peace.